Gemini, welcome to your weekly reading for August 29th to September 4. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for your week ahead. Keeping in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So take the messages that do and check out your other placements because you could have messages waiting for you there as well. All right, Gemini, let's see. What is the energy around the week ahead for Gemini? Flexible coming out for you. Peace in reverse. Change in the wind. Okay. And the bottom of the deck is truth be told. Now, let's have a look at this here. So, being flexible, releasing stubbornness, rigidity in the thinking, even in movement, I'm feeling for you, Gemini. You might be hesitating to even make a move on something. Hesitation, rigidity. It's something around you right now is sort of draining you of that feeling of inner peace, which is why this card is in reverse. I feel like there's been a lot of change surrounding you, or there will be very soon, and you might be already feeling the energy of those changes, and that might be what's causing you to sort of hesitate and feel rigid or stubborn or defensive. You're not feeling flexible. You're not feeling open to options here. There is something coming through, though, that will be very revealing. I think this change is going to show you the truth about something. But seeing that peace card in reverse is making me feel like you need a change. Something about the way you're operating right now is not bringing you peace. It's making you feel the opposite of peace. You could be feeling really out of sorts with yourself, or with how to proceed doesn't feel good right now. You know what I mean? It almost feels like there's an absence of inner peace, and as a result there is no grounding. Because when we don't feel that inner peace, we do sort of feel moments where we have this condition of our well-being being in question. And when our well-being is in question, we tend to get very rigid very quickly about life. And this to me suggests that there is a harmony within you that needs to be found. That the answers aren't going to come from the external world if there's something here that you're questioning. It's almost like you need to come into peace with something in order for things to begin to change. So it's interesting. This change in the wind is going to be caused almost by you. And it's like you don't need to look to the outer world to understand things in a more certain way. This energy here that you're experiencing right now, it's almost time for you to find a way to say to yourself, all will be well. And that could be the truth that will be told, is that you will be telling yourself a truth, that this will pass. All is well. All will be well. I am not in a space that I will stay in forever, that this moment will pass. There is a change coming, or has happened already, that has made you feel this way. But you must sort of remember this week that this too shall pass, and that nothing is permanent in this world, not the good or the bad. Everything passes. And sort of having that flexibility in your mindset is going to be where you will find that inner peace. Very interesting. Now, whatever is disturbing your inner peace will be different, I would imagine, for all of you. But the theme is that this is very interesting. The Emperor card kind of came out of the deck as I was shuffling. I think we'll keep it. It's in reverse. So that says you don't trust something. So whatever this dynamic is that's sort of having an impact on your inner peace. It has to do with whether or not you trust something. Do you trust yourself? Do you not, are you having a moment where you don't trust yourself? Are you having a moment where you don't trust something in the external world? When I see change and this card in reverse and truth be told, that's very interesting. There's something here you don't trust, and there may be a new beginning that you don't trust. We see the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. You might not want this new beginning. You might be like, I don't want this chapter to end yet. That could be for some of you, what's going on here is that you sort of sense the truth about this. There's a timeline that's maybe coming to a close, and you're not happy about that. You don't want this to end. Sometimes we struggle with accepting endings. You're very worried about this. We see the Nine of Swords. So you are sort of not very flexible right now. Your thought pattern is one that is akin to a nightmare. You know what I mean? That Nine of Swords is not an easy energy. And yet there's a new beginning at the end of this for you, Gemini. And there's that Strength card. You're really being guided to be confident and to trust yourself, even though I think part of this is a lack of self-trust, which is creating that dynamic of sort of removing that inner peace. Now we see the Four of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So that tells me that gratitude will be helpful for you. That if you're able to sort of look at this situation and see what you're grateful for, that could change how you feel on the inside, within, bringing that harmony within, like we were talking about. Seeing that Three of Wands coming out next in reverse tells me that you can't at this point even imagine a new beginning, because you're very attached to the story you're in now. But that story's changing, Gemini. That story, there is a change in the wind, and we don't have control over some things that change. And I feel like this is a situation that you don't have control over, which is maybe also why that Emperor is in reverse. And because you don't have control over it, you're fighting against it with this Nine of Swords. And you're being guided to sort of understand that you can overcome any obstacle. This will pass. And that there's actually a new beginning here. And it's revealing something to you, but right now you're too focused on the story that you're in now. You're too focused on that story to see that it's time to start envisioning this new beginning and to put that mind at rest so that you can recover and bring balance back in where there was a lack of balance. You're going to have some choices that are going to be emotional. And I think what you're going to realize is that once you have a look at things from a different perspective, one that isn't so limited and rigid, you're going to have this inner reward in the Four of Wands. And it's almost like you're passing through a gateway to get to this new timeline, but something that you're attached to now isn't going to be joining you. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're moving through to a new beginning, but without something or someone or something that you're very attached to. It could be that you have to move and you don't want to move. But if you move and you follow that timeline, you're going to end up having all of these new opportunities that are going to bring you a lot of joy and happiness on the inside and rebalance you back, because there is a lack of balance here. That's just one example. Sometimes we don't have control over these things. It's, you might be in a situation where there's something that's going to change and it's outside of your control and you're resisting that. And that resistance is sort of creating a lack of balance within you, Gemini, and yeah, you're trying to maybe control something that's outside of your control, and you can't imagine from where you're standing today that everything is going to be okay. From your perspective right now, I would say that you're like, nothing's ever going to feel okay again. And I get it. I think that we go through some things that we don't have control over and we resist them because We want things to look a certain way, and yet we're being pulled in this other direction. But seeing truth be told makes me feel, and also seeing the Four of Wands makes me feel like that you can trust this. I started this reading by saying that you don't trust something, and I feel like you might not trust this at all right now, what's happening, but that you will overcome these obstacles that you're facing today, the ones that you feel like you'll never get over. You will get over it. You will find a way to heal this. You are going through a period of healing right now, and it's hard for you to imagine being whole and complete after this sort of energy. But you will have options, and you will find opportunities to be in balance, because right now you're out of balance when I see that Lover's card, and you're having a hard time accepting things that are outside of your control. That's the key message here for you this week. And by not accepting those things, you're sort of hurting your own energy, you know? You don't have balance. You don't have inner harmony. You're not feeling inner peace. Your mind isn't at rest. You know, you're not able to envision things positively anymore. This will pass. This will pass, Gemini. Let's see. What does Gemini need to surrender to? Or surrender? Surrender to or surrender? Let's shuffle again. I didn't have a good grip on the cards there. Let's see. What does Gemini need to surrender or surrender to? Surrender defensiveness is coming right out. So that defensiveness is very much similar to the message of that flexible, needing to be more flexible. Now, we see here also surrender your need to always be right. This kind of makes me think of this idea that you're trying to control something that's out of your control, and you're not able to control it. It's out of your control, and that could be very frustrating you, and it could be creating a feeling of defensiveness, but it could also be creating this need to be right, to control something, you know, being rigid. So it says here, give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help you resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. I feel like this message really is trying to get you to see that there isn't just one way. And right now you might be seeing that if this doesn't continue to be what you want it to be, then it's not good at all. Like it's almost like this black and white situation that you don't even have control over. And yet the rigidity in your thinking is creating such a lack of inner peace as you go through this big change. You know, like you're going through something here that you don't have control over, and you feel awful inside because I see this energy here. And I mean, if this doesn't resonate for you, if you're feeling great, Gemini, then this is not your reading. If you're struggling right now to accept something that you don't have control over, then this is your reading. Check out your other placements, my friends. Now, this defensiveness is suggesting that you can communicate in a more empowered way with yourself. Stay centered. And again, it's suggesting to hear people out and to be non-defensive in your response. So perhaps there's people trying to guide you, and you're not hearing them out because you have this in your mind that this is, you know, it has to be this way or it can't be any way at all. And I feel like we're seeing the Hermit here because more reflection is required on your part to sort of see this as something that you can surrender to and accept and trust that all will be well and that this feeling will pass. I'm going to leave it at that, Gemini. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I hope it's been helpful, and I look forward to reading for you again very soon. Take care, my friends. I'm sending you so much love and light.